And welcome everybody here on YouTube for another exciting edition of Off the Hook Overtime. This is Emmanuel. I'm joined over there by Kyle.
You are.
Out in Signal Land, we have Rob and we have Gila and we have Alex.
Yep.
Hello.
Yeah.
Okay, and we just are waiting confirmation that we made it to YouTube.
We did, in fact, make it to YouTube.
I expect we'll have no listeners this week because we haven't been on for a month and people forget and they have other things in their lives now.
Amazingly enough, we have 23 people with us already.
Okay.
Which is really quite good. So
is that quite good? Really? 23 people? 20,
at the beginning, yeah.
23,000 people, I would think, but
off to the races here.
It's one of these well-known secrets, I suppose. Wow. You know, Gila, you mentioned this to me, I think, weeks ago, that Alex makes noise every time he comes in. He has a mute button that actually makes noise. I'm hearing it now. I never heard it before, but now I'm hearing it. Every time. Alex, are you muted now? You're nodding your head. This is radio. Yeah,
Yes.
that noise. Okay.
That's really annoying. Why does that show up? I mean, I asked some colleagues.
I
of mine,
cannot
but-
believe I didn't notice that all this time. I guess I just assumed it was one of those.
How did you not notice?
Because I hear a lot of annoying noises in my daily life.
Well,
So I just
apparently,
assumed this was another one of them.
I'd like to ask the listeners and of the 23, 24, whatever people.
38.
Okay, 38.
Oh my
you know,
God, it's a landslide.
It's growing. Well, if they can hear it, because I was talking with a friend of mine, a colleague of mine, who listens to the show, and he said he doesn't hear that.
People lie to you all the time, Alex.
I guess so. Maybe that's it. But it is really annoying if that comes through, because I've looked for ways to shut off the beep of when you go in and out of muting, and it kind of defies the purpose of being on mute if you make a noise.
It's funny. Mute button that makes noise. It's
Yeah.
It's like you remember the old telephone recordings that journalists would have to use where they would beep every 15 seconds to let you know you were being recorded.
Yes.
Boy, this is going to get annoying really fast. I assume everybody can hear that. I don't know why only we would be able to hear that.
Oh no, they can all hear it. Uncommon Geek says the sound is a recent addition that has been happening for a few weeks now, and our buddy Lex Pendragon says, "Yep, Alex, I hear it and I hate it."
So, Alex, did you get something new in the last month or two?
No, nothing. I don't know why that's coming through. I wonder if it's-
Maybe you're more conscientious and you're muting yourself when you have nothing to say.
Well, I do that, but I've been doing that for forever. I do that constantly because I'm afraid that something will come across the airwaves that I'm not supposed to say if I don't continuously mute myself. So,
Well, as long as you're not belching into the microphone, or your dog's not barking, or one of your children isn't screaming, then
Sure.
you can leave the mic on, I guess.
I guess, but no, I don't know. It's too risky to me. There might be some kind of outburst or something.
Let's keep the mic on. Let's see what happens.
We'll see. I'm going on mute. This is craziness.
Yeah, we can hear.
In the interest of tracking this down, have you changed what you're using? Like, are you muting with some sort of hardware device, or are you using a mouse to click the button on your computer?
No, I'm just using the mouse, and I don't think it's Signal either. Maybe, I don't know. Is there a way to turn off the stupid noise within Signal?
Is it Signal that's doing this? Do you have hardware, or is it just simply?
No, it's Signal. It's
Well,
got to
then
be the
somebody out there knows the answer to this. I mean,
Okay, but wait a second, because we obviously we're also on Signal. We are also pretty cautious about muting ourselves.
Yeah. What OS?
And do we make a little bloopy?
well, why don't you test that out? Mute yourself.
They've been muting themselves on and off all night.
Why
and
don't you mute
Here
yourself, Alex? Let them
we go.
mute them.
All right, here we go.
They're talking, but nothing's coming out of their mouths.
And now we're unmuted again.
I didn't hear a damn thing. I didn't hear audio. I didn't hear a beep. I didn't hear any of that. I hear you now. So, Alex, you're doing something different. Okay, OSs. What OS, Rob and Gila, are you running?
Ubuntu, Kubuntu, actually.
What now?
Linux.
Okay. And Alex.
Whoop. Mac OS. I'm running here. Yeah.
I hate to say that's your problem, but I kind of love to say that
Could be,
too.
Yeah.
We have a couple people suggesting that is a software mute versus a hardware mute.
Software.
The Mac Geek
Yeah.
suggests if you had a proper USB mic with its own mic switch, it wouldn't make mute sound.
That sounds a bit scolding there, but it's probably true.
I don't write the comments; I just read them.
Yeah.
Well, Alex, you're a software mute. That's what
Well,
we've determined here.
I have another option because I have a microphone that I can use, which I found wasn't I don't know, didn't really enhance my sound, I think, more than the internal microphone in a Mac Air.
Yeah, you sounded like crap before. You sound better now, but you have that annoying clicking noise.
Yeah, so I could install that, and then that's a hardware type of mute and unmute type of thing that doesn't make any noise. So I could do that if need be, but I'd rather figure out how to change this in Signal.
I have a question. Do you have a volume control? Can you make yourself really low?
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Let's try that.
Yeah.
So let's.
So instead of clicking, you just go low. Look, he did it.
Now I'm unmuted. Did you hear it? You didn't hear it then,
Nope.
right?
No,
Wow. So
Oh.
Emmanuel's custom support yet again has solved the problem.
Yeah, that solved the problem. But then I can't hear anything, obviously. So that just creates a different problem because if I turn the volume down and then I unmute myself so that I'm not making a sound, I can't hear what you said or what other people have said. It'll make the whole thing very awkward.
that's why we wear headphones.
Okay, how about
Yeah.
this? How about this? You bring the volume down, click mute, then bring the volume up.
Actually, wearing headphones would probably solve the whole thing.
How often have I been trying to get you to wear headphones for this show?
Yeah, I know.
That would solve the problem. Speaking of
Yeah.
customer service, I had to deal with Amazon customer service today. I realized I forgot to buy calendars.
They're the worst. It's
I
terrible.
bought a kitten calendar, all right, and it was supposed to arrive today. And I went to the Amazon place and picked it up. And what was in the bag? But a bunch of women's shirts. Now, the thing that drove me crazy was when I opened it and realized these aren't kittens here. This is a 5-pack of women's shirts that I don't need. It showed itself as being a kitten calendar that had arrived. And so, I was faced with the choice of, what do I do with this? This is wrong. So I went on Amazon and clicked, the order is wrong. And it kept proceeding like I wanted to return the kitten calendars. And I would have to drive to a distant Whole Foods to drop it off before I could get a refund. But there was, they acted like they had delivered the kitten calendar instead of the women's shirts. They wouldn't acknowledge that. And finally, I turned to Gemini, as I often do, for help, and said, Gemini, how the hell do I get a human with Amazon? And it told me how to do it. And I was speaking with Jaya not too long afterwards, and she was very nice, and she understood the situation, and she told me to discard the women's shirts, and she would send me a new kitten calendar. So Sunday, I hope to get that. But that's what you have to do. You have to rely on artificial intelligence to get a human with Amazon.
Well, artificial intelligence, an LLM generated thing like Gemini only knows the answer because a lot of people wanted to know the answer and have posted the answer somewhere out there online for the language model to pick up.
Actually, Emmanuel, now that you mention it, I, as I explained to some of my colleagues, succumbed to the siren song of a promotional deal and got myself a new phone around New Year's. And I had to ship in the old phone to get the credits. And we dropped it off at the UPS store a week and a half ago.
Mm-hmm.
And according to UPS, the phone is now at the site, but they're not seeing that, it's not showing up in the system.
So your phone provider has not yet logged the receipt of the phone that UPS says they gave them.
Yes, that is correct. They still think I haven't dropped it off. And UPS says it's in Texas.
Wow. So what are you going to do?
I'm not sure what to do. Also, Emmanuel, and I am just quoting here, Rebel says, give the shirts to your wife.
Yeah, thanks, Rebel. That's really helpful information. Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do with the shirts. I won't discard them. I'll donate them to somebody, I guess. I have
Well,
no
what
idea
kind of
what's. I don't know what kind. They're V-necks. Some I don't
Okay,
know. I
like
didn't
are
order
they
them.
are
I
they
don't-
t-shirts? Are they button-ups? Could you use them for cleaning screens or um make them into cute little throw pillows?
Do I look
or-
like the kind of person who would do that?
Fair point, well made.
It's like some kind of active wear, but that's
All right,
just to be
Can I
precise.
chime in here for a sec?
Oh, Alex, you have a comment?
More of like an experiment. Okay, I'm going to mute myself in 3, 2, 1.
Oh, listen to that! Listen to that piece.
So professional.
Yeah. that's
Did
great.
anybody hear me mute and unmute at that point?
Nope, did not.
No.
Okay, I figured out what the culprit was.
Okay, let's hear it.
It was presumably an ID10T error. That's what most people in the comments, I'm sure, will describe it as. But there is a setting in Mac OS for playing user interface sound effects, and the volume, the alert volume, was all the way up. So it was like this, right? Now, if I
We
put
hear
that
it now.
down-
Yes, we definitely hear it.
Yeah. Now, if I turn it down to like a reasonable level, now I can go on mute just like this. And then I can come off it just like that.
What a pro.
And it doesn't.
We
relay.
heard it slightly the last time. We heard it very
slightly.
slightly.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So I'll go down even further. So let's test it now. So I'm going to go on mute. Now I'm unmuted. Did you
Still
hear
heard
all
it
that?
very.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
the-
not nearly as annoying, but we still hear it.
Oh Jesus. Okay. So I'll go even lower.
Why don't you
then.
turn it off? Why do you need it on in the first place?
How low can you go though?
Yeah. Well, let's see. Let's see if it still registers. All right. Off. On. Was it still?
Yep.
Was it there? All
We
right,
can, we
well,
can hear it. We can hear it slightly when you go back on. So when you turn
Yeah,
it
we
off,
don't hear when
it's
you go
being
on
muted.
when you
in
unmute
time.
yourself.
I'm
We
just,
hear it.
I'm just going to turn the whole thing off, and now I'm going on mute, off mute. Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing.
That was
good.
wonderful.
Why didn't you do that from the start?
Because I didn't know about the setting. I had to.
No, I'm
research
saying
it.
why didn't you turn it off instead of going all the way down and torturing us?
Well, because then I could still hear these user interface settings, but at a lower volume, at such a volume that it wouldn't register on the microphone. I thought there was a threshold level at which it wouldn't carry over, but I was apparently wrong.
You're either crying, Kyle, or you're laughing hysterically. I don't know which it is, but it's all justified.
I'm sorry. What was that?
Nothing at all. But on the subject of notification sounds, again, Gemini was very helpful with this because on my my Android phone, I was able to make a different sound for any app that I wanted. And so when there is an ice raid anywhere in the area, I have a siren that goes off. It's really cool because, you suddenly hear a siren, there's an ice raid going on, and you grab the phone and see where it is. Well, it worked in Europe too. While I was traveling, it would happen on the train, and we were 6 hours ahead. So, it would happen all different places. And every time it happened, I'd have to either pretend I had no idea where it was coming from or quickly grab my phone and turn it off. But it definitely got attention. When people heard the siren, everybody perked up. What's that? So it's kind of cool to have different sounds for different apps. It's just something that I think more people should make use of.
So this reminds me of something that my dad did. He had he made his own sounds for when he received a text and when he received a voicemail. Let me try that again. When he received a text, when he received an email, and one was a cough and one was a throat clearing.
Wow.
So if he forgot to silence his phone, no one noticed.
What if somebody coughed though? Wouldn't he get confused?
It was weird because it sounded very specifically like my brother coughing. And every time I would be with my dad and his phone would make this sound because he'd gotten an email, I was looking for my brother. My brother was in another state, but it sounded exactly like it was amazing. Also, I have a message for you from @Dwight Schrute says, who wants you to know that you can return Amazon items to Staples stores.
Okay, that's not much more convenient, but thank you. That's good to know. I just think, all those annoying trucks that are driving around getting in the way, why can't I just give it to one of them? They could serve a purpose then.
Fair question.
Yeah.
Also, before he calls, because I know this is going to happen, I would like to remind Rebel that I am not the wife of the show.
And also, Rebel, you're banned. Remember? We banned him.
Right.
We banned
That's
him
right.
because you insisted on calling when we asked you not to call because you had already called, taken up a fair amount of time. So, you thought we'd forget. Sure, a month has gone by, but there was no show. There was no overtime. So this is the show where you are banned. Now, if you call again, then you get banned for 2 shows, and it'll get worse and worse. So sit back, listen, enjoy, do something else, get a Mai Tai, whatever, and call next week.
But because we know you're listening, did just want to remind you that I am not married to all 4 of my co-panelists. So
Is that what he thought?
Well, he said give them to your wife, and then he said give them to me, and I just kind of assumed.
He said give it to Gila.
He said give it to Gila, and that's me. Also, there's no E in my name, but that's a different discussion. So yeah, just wanted to put out there that I am married to one of my fellow panelists, but not all of them.
You'll have to figure out which one that is. But that's those kinds of assumptions don't serve anybody. So yes. Hey, would you like to hear my ringtone for my phone, which I programmed myself? Anybody who gets this, knows what it is, wins a prize. You all ready?
Uh-huh.
All right. Hang on. I guess the lesson there is that I have to turn audio
Leaning
back
in
on.
like I'm not wearing headphones.
Hold on a second. I didn't turn audio on my phone. Oh, no, I did. I don't know why it's not working. Hold on. Turn this up. Yeah, I know how to use a phone. Don't worry about that.
Can I call you?
Okay, so no, that's not right either.
It's a phone.
Okay, now, all right. Let's try this one more
What do I
time.
win?
Let's try this one more time. It doesn't work. I don't know. Okay, might press it a second time. Okay, I don't know how to stop it now. But but
Just
if
throw it.
anybody can figure out what that is, you win a prize.
That's
And
that's the Sopranos theme song, isn't it?
Wow, you're very close there, Alex. Very close, but no cigar.
Yeah.
No cigar for you.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
we are going to. We don't know if the phone's going to work, by the way, because
You
we haven't
know what
done
it
this in
sounds
a
like
month.
to me?
What's that?
Actually, I will tell you what it sounds like to me. It sounds like the beginning or an ending of a transmission of a number station. That's what it actually sounds
Okay,
like.
but you got to be more specific than that if you're going to go that route. Is what I'm saying. So
You have to be more specific than that. Like I have to tell you what the number station is.
yeah, who it belongs to. I mean, I've never heard of a number station that had musical notes beforehand, but maybe you're onto something.
I think so. I mean,
All
it's the Lincolnshire Poacher or something.
This was
like
mostly
that.
for the listeners, though. I'm sure there's somebody out there that can identify that sound. On this planet, I know only one person that successfully did that. I won't say who it was.
All right, we are starting to get some comments and chiming in from the chat.
Increasingly hostile too, right?
Zap says it sounds like a Fisher Price record player. Rebel says it's Germany. Sarah said some spooky number station somewhere, probably.
Hang on, hang
when-
on. Ask Rebel to elaborate on what he means by that, and go ahead.
All
with the
right,
other one.
Rebel, please elaborate on what you mean by that. And I will also say that
He's banned.
when that
No, he's not
He can
banned from that.
chat.
He can chat, and we don't have to read the chat, but he can chat, but he can't
All right.
call.
but I would like to point out that when you did first play that ringtone, 3 people said, "Oh, it's the beginning of the show again."
What? How is that the beginning of the show again?
When the
you played a bit of the phone.
We heard the
ringing
phone
tone.
ringing,
Uh-huh.
and you know how the show now starts with the phone ringing before the.
Oh, yeah. That's funny.
So
All right. So
I thought it sounded like It's a Small World, by the way.
yeah, that's totally wrong. All right, so we're going to turn the phone on, but we don't know if it's going to work because we haven't used it in a while, and we might have forgotten how it works.
So
So
do you think it went stale? Their national anthem, he says.
no, you're wrong. But you're on a good path, which I've never said to Rebel before. Keep going down that path and see what happens. You might actually get it. You might actually get it. Doesn't give you any privileges on calling in though this week, so don't try that. Okay, our phone number 802-321-4225. The phone is now on, and we'll see if it works. We'll see if the all the modifications that Kyle did last year have stayed in effect. And
Yes.
I assume the bell is on, so we'll be able to hear the phone if it rings.
Oh, you want that on?
Well, how else are we going to know if the phone's ringing?
I know that it's ringing and I'm picking it up.
Okay.
Is it a TV shutdown tune? Is a new.
What is a TV shutdown tune? I've never heard of that. I don't know what that is.
I think when a station would go off the air for the evening, back when they used to do that.
That was
Or
the
like
national
the-
anthem they would play.
Or the
Well-
melody that your TV plays when you shut it down, like ours used to before we turned the setting off.
Is this like a dryer sound that plays a little symphony every time the clothes get finished?
I mean, our TV used to play a little song, which we called the Song of Our People, but then we adjusted that setting. And now Johnny Fusion asks, is it a bell tower in Hamburg?
I don't know what that would mean. Bell tower in why would that sound like anything? A bell tower in Hamburg.
Why would a bell tower?
Oh, you mean like a church bell?
Yeah,
Well, I didn't hear any bells. Did you?
it
Sounded a little bellish.
sounded like a
Okay, well, I've never heard a church make a sound like that. I've never heard that, but maybe.
I don't know.
no,
I haven't been to church in a long time.
But no. But Kyle, go ahead.
I'll just say keep guessing, people, and ease trying to throw you off. So
I'm not trying to throw
yeah,
anybody off.
no, you're being defensive. Come on, there's
Oh my
good.
God.
These are good guesses, and you're trying to throw.
Yeah, but I don't want to give away too much. Look,
All right,
I'm
so
encouraging people.
We have a phone call tonight. Please call us. We gave out the number. It's working now. We're gonna test this.
Please, no hum. No hum. Please,
You
no
can
hum.
call us about user interfaces and how you make things sound the way you like them, what you do with sounds.
And, please try not to put me into an argument of some sort because my dentist specifically said, shut up, don't talk so much. And, because for healing for my pulled tooth, I have to not be moving my jaw. So if somebody calls in with some kind of political debate, I'm going to sit back and let you guys handle it. All right. And good evening. You are on Off the Hook Overtime. Go ahead.
Hi, I have a follow-up question related to that program you did after Mom Donnie was sworn in, and Rob mentioned that there were 3 legitimate ways to visit the old City Hall train station, but he didn't get to the third one. He said one was to become a member of the New York Transit Museum, one was to stay on the 6 train after it reaches the final stop in Manhattan and has to turn around, and there was a third one, which he didn't mention, so I'd like to get that.
If I said 3, I misspoke because there are only the 2. You either stay on the 6 train while it goes around the loop, or you get a proper tour through the Transit Museum.
Well, I can think of number 3 right away. You break in, not as a member of that group, and you go down a manhole or something, but you figure out how to get into the City Hall station. But that's how you get to the actual station, because when you're on the train, you can't get off.
Right. But, Rob, have you actually gone on the tour through the Transit Museum?
I
Or
have
you
not,
just know
sadly.
that
I
it
would.
exists?
I would. I know that it exists, and you can find info on the Transit Museum's website, I believe. But I have been on the 6 train through that terminal loop multiple times to check it out, and it's always cool to look at it from there.
Fun fact:
Okay,
they're
so
taking a Pelham 123. It is the 6 train they take down, and I believe they escape in the abandoned 18th Street station. If I'm not mistaken, that's how they get onto the street.
Okay. So it is only 2 methods then, like you said.
Yes.
Huh.
Yes. Two
Okay.
legitimate
And,
methods.
Too legitimate. Okay. And Emmanuel, when will you be announcing the new venue for the next Hope Conference?
When we get the new venue for the next Hope Conference, which we are, we're looking into all kinds of options. People are working so hard to find a way to make this conference happen. We really want it to happen. Hope 26. It's there are only 2 years that have 2600's numbers in it. Hope H2K in 2000 and this one 2026 26. We're never going to get this
Right.
chance again, so we have to have it somewhere. So we're looking at all kinds of venues throughout the New York City area, and we've gotten so many emails from people who want us to have the conference someplace else, someplace more welcoming, and almost invariably the place that's more welcoming is where they live. And that I know that's a good idea to you, but it's not a great idea to us because we would have to move everything out there and organize over months, and it would just be prohibitive for us to do all that. We think there's a solution here. We think there's a solution somewhere in the New York City area, and we think there's probably a longer term solution if we work together. So stay tuned for the next few weeks because I think we're going to have some major changes and things to talk about.
Is your preference for a college campus?
Well, right now we're open to pretty much anything, that has a roof, and, rooms to have talks in. So, we didn't think of a college campus the first time when we got St. John's.
Right.
We're considering it now. There are a lot of college campuses I didn't even know about, but, we're also
Right.
considering other venues as well. The thing is, they have to be affordable, and some of them are just, in the stratosphere, but then there are some that are actually possible. We just have to get the right people. If there are people who know how to communicate with all these venues and make deals and like for instance hotels, you get discounts if you are able to get people to stay in rooms and things like that. We need to know how to do all these things, and we spend most of our time organizing the conference, which is a couple of full-time jobs right there. So we're trying everything we know, but we could certainly use help. If people want to help, they can write to us, hope@hope.net or oth@2600.com.
Well, I hope you'll consider maybe Queens College, Queensborough Community College, or Stony Brook. I mean, you went to Stony Brook. Have you looked into that?
Stony Brook is pretty far away. I mean, people said St. John's was far away. Stony Brook is very far away. It'll be a 2-hour ride on the train. I think that's too much. I think we need to stay within New York City.
Okay. Well, there's obviously a lot of colleges and universities, so I hope you can find something within the 5 boroughs, or maybe New Jersey, maybe Rutgers. I mean, there's a lot of transportation to get there, and they have a very big campus.
Uh-huh. Well, we'll consider
good
that,
luck.
even though it's technically not New York City, but we'll consider that for sure.
Good luck to you.
Thank
Hope
you.
you find someplace.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
And did you notice how good that caller sounded? That's a good phone line, Kyle. I think the system
Excellent.
works, and he could hear you guys too, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
All right, 802-321-4225, 802-321-HACK is our phone number, and hopefully we get another phone call.
While we were talking, Gila did find some info about the Transit Museum tours.
The tours go on sale 3 times a year. Today happened to be one of the 3 times a year the tickets went on sale to members. Everything's sold out since 10 o'clock this morning.
Wow.
So you have to become a member and then wait for the next chance to buy tickets.
Wait for
when
the
they
next
open
chance
up
to buy
again.
tickets.
Hold on a second.
No, it was a person.
Kyle, you informed me that Rebel is calling. Pick up the phone. If it is Rebel, he gets banned for 2 weeks. Do we pick up? Good evening. You're on Off the Hook Overtime. Go ahead. There's nobody there, Kyle, because the phone's still ringing. Can you pick up the phone? What's going on? Okay. Good evening. You're on Off the Hook Overtime. Go ahead. A wise move. All right. Do not call back. All right. We don't know for sure. Somebody might have spoofed his number, but I did not hear his voice. But yeah, don't be pranking us either, because that's gonna piss us off. 802-321-4225. Rebel, I look forward to talking to you next week. All right, because if otherwise it'll be a few weeks. Yeah, 802-321-4225. So yeah, speaking of the train museum and tickets going on sale to members and things like that, I missed my opportunity to buy World Cup tickets. Yeah, I forgot. I forgot to buy into their racket of. I think you pay like $200 for the possibility of buying a ticket or something like that. But you're not that money goes towards the ticket, I believe. But it's too much. It's too much money. So I'm glad I missed it. And if there are other ways of getting tickets, somebody tell me what it is, because I always thought, when the World Cup finally came to this country, that people would be able to buy tickets to it. It wouldn't be this whole big thing where you have to be members of things and spend.
Why
all
would
this...
you think that?
I don't know. I guess I thought FIFA was less corrupt than it actually is.
Now, if you pay that $200, but you don't end up getting a ticket, do you get your $200 back?
No, I think that one I'm not sure. There are so many schemes they've got going. It's ridiculous. But my impression was that one that expired yesterday. You would pay that money and it would go towards a ticket or not, but you wouldn't lose the money. There are other ones though where you bet everything on one team and you either get it or you don't, and you could lose thousands that way. Yeah, it's gambling, really. I just want to be able to buy a ticket and go into Meadowlands or whatever, and I'll watch teams I don't even know who they are, just to say I went to a World Cup. It's there's going to be all these games, like
Dub Hub,
dozens and dozens and dozens. I'm not sure why that's funny, but okay.
What's not? I'm just saying, I'm pretty confident that people are going to start reselling their tickets.
Yeah, and you can take out a second mortgage to buy one, I guess.
I'll pay $50.
that
That's what I'm paying. $50 for a ticket to a team that nobody wants to see.
Hey, okay, how about this? Brazil versus Morocco.
Okay, anything with Brazil in it. Brazil could be, playing a brick wall, and people will go crazy to see them.
World Cup Group C. 2 tickets in Category 3, $856.
Okay, so that's actually $420 and change, is what you're saying, per ticket.
That is what I'm saying.
Right. Okay, so let's not exaggerate. But
You're looking on
I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm on StubHub.
But
because
what teams are those?
This is Brazil versus Morocco, Group
Okay.
C, Match 7.
Oh, poor Morocco. They're going to get their asses kicked.
This is fun. That one we didn't talk about. Was it StubHub? There was some ticket resale things happened the last few weeks where they were advertising tickets to a metal show by a band called Lamb of God. And it turned out that the algorithm had just fucked up and they were actually selling tickets to a Christmas pageant called Lamb of God.
Wow.
And
Yes, I forgot about that.
yeah, metalheads like descending upon some random church for this
wow.
concert. And that's not what happened.
That's the funniest thing I've heard in a while.
Also, someone said FIFA gives Trump some kind of award and you thought they were less corrupt.
Well, that's about when I started having suspicions, okay? They hadn't been doing things like that before. Not as much, anyway. 802-321-4225. We don't have a phone call, do we, Kyle? We do? A phone call on the line? You didn't tell me.
Yeah, we were busy with some stuff there. The phone did ring.
Okay. Good evening. You're on Off the Hook Overtime. Go ahead.
Yes, Emmanuel calling from California.
And that's your last call for the next 2 weeks, Rebel. We warned you. So let's see. Let's do the calculation now. Today is the 14th.
14. Yes.
So he can't call on the 21st or the 28th. But if the 28th is a call-in show for BAI, that gets pushed to the next week because that doesn't count.
I was going to ask that.
Yeah.
So,
But he can't
could
call that
define that
show
parameter.
either. He can't call that show either. Yeah.
and then
So I
should he call during the 2-week ban period, that gets a 3-week
He
ban,
could, no,
right?
he'd get permabanned then. Yeah, permabanned.
It's happened before.
Yeah. As you will get if you keep calling back tonight. And if that's him calling again, that's very, very possible he'll get permabanned. Go ahead. You are on Off the Hook Overtime.
Hi, I wish you let Rebel talk. I like it cold. I look forward.
I don't make the rules. That's just how it is.
I did want to say a couple of things. one. Would you consider Newark as far as that? I'm just trying to piggyback off of the gentleman earlier about the
What's in Newark? What venue are you thinking?
like the university, Rutgers University. Are those places you would consider?
Is Rutgers in Newark? I don't know where Rutgers is, but I didn't think it was in Newark.
They have a campus.
Can I ask where you're calling from? Because there's this loud hiss, like you're very far away.
Can you hear me better?
Yeah, we hear you. It's just there's a loud hiss. It's really weird sounding. Sounds like the ocean. You guys hear that?
Let me just say what I have to the other thing quickly before I go there. You talk about the World Cup. You know, Trump, he banned like 75 countries today, like no visa application whatsoever.
He banned 75 countries? What do you mean?
Like, it's basically you can't come in from these 75 countries. There's just no visa, nothing, no way you can. That's it.
Are these countries that are playing in the World Cup?
Most of them are, yeah. These are, a lot of African countries,
Well, then they can play in Canada or Mexico and give us the middle finger, and they have every right to. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I hadn't heard about that.
Yeah, if you Google it now, you see it. 75 countries have really banned it. They just stopped visa applications.
You know, this guy's out of his mind. I don't. We have to deal with this. And like I was saying on the show, our system seems ill prepared to deal with a lunatic in power, and we need to figure out how to do that. There's a patch for this system that we have that really needs to be installed quickly.
Anyway, that's all I have to say.
All right, thanks for calling, and yeah, wherever you're calling from. But boy, that sounded far away. I noticed Rebel's call sounded far away too, but I'm not going to draw parallels between that. 802-321-4225 is our phone number. Gila, you were nodding when he said that. Do you know something about the countries being banned?
Yes. I was looking at it earlier, actually. 75 countries. Shockingly enough, they are all from Asia and Africa. People of color. It was really gross. It was a fascinating list. And yeah, they're just not going to process visas from those countries anymore.
Well, what if the players already have visas?
Somehow, I don't think the World Cup is going to be affected by this.
Okay. All right.
Also, people want you to know that there's a Newark campus of Rutgers. It's not the main campus, but there is a Newark campus.
Okay. We can look into these things for sure. The problem with campuses, obviously, is they have school. And so you can't have conferences when they have classes. So that pretty much limits it to 2, maybe 3 months in the summer. And we have to make sure that it's not already booked for something else. But we're looking into everything, and, more suggestions, the better. Again, email address is hope@hope.net or oth@2600.com, 2600.com. Good evening. You're on Off the Hook Overtime. Go ahead. Speak up. All right, we're getting a hiss. Do you know anything about that, Kyle, or is that just something about these connections?
No, I don't know anything about it.
What was the area code for that call, if you don't mind me asking?
209.
209. That's not me. I think that's... Where is that? Is that Idaho? That's somewhere weird. No offense.
I do have a little more
I think
information about that.
I think it's California, actually. Wait.
It is.
Didn't Rebel say he was in California?
You did.
Rebel, you're playing a dangerous game here. I'm not kidding around.
It appears to be Northern California. State Department spokesman Tommy Pigott said the indefinite...
His name is Pigott? I mean,
again, I don't write them.
You can have fun with pig, or you can also rhyme it with bigot. There's so many possibilities here.
I mean, it also could be Pigot. It's got 2 T's. The indefinite pause, these are just for immigration visas, by the way. So again, the World Cup will not be affected. The indefinite pause aims to limit applicants deemed likely to become, quote, a public charge. a term for someone who relies on government benefits for their basic needs. The order takes effect January 21st, and a full list of the countries on the administration's list has not been released. But it's not good.
I am so sick of this shit.
Oh,
All right.
wait, nope. Here's a list.
You gonna read 75 countries on the air?
You know how quick I can talk?
All right. Let's hope this person's not out of payphone. Go ahead.
Afghanistan, Albania, Algeria, Antigua and Barbuda, Armenia, Azerbaijan, the Bahamas, Bangladesh, Barbados, Belarus, Belize, Bhutan, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Brazil, Myanmar. Why is that alphabetized there? Cambodia, Cameroon, Cape Verde, Colombia, Cote d'Ivoire, Cuba, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Dominica, Egypt, Eritrea, Ethiopia, Fiji, the Gambia, Georgia, Ghana, Grenada, Guatemala, Guinea, Haiti, Iran, Iraq, Jamaica, Jordan, Kazakhstan, Kosovo, Kuwait, Kyrgyzstan, Laos, Lebanon, Liberia, Libya, North Macedonia, Moldova, Mongolia, Montenegro, Morocco, Nepal, Nicaragua, Nigeria, Pakistan, Republic of the Congo, Russia, Rwanda, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Senegal, Sierra Leone, Somalia, South Sudan, Syria, Tanzania, Thailand, Togo, Tunisia, Uganda, Uruguay, Uzbekistan, and Yemen.
You asked about Myanmar. The reason Myanmar is there is because it used
Well,
to
I
be,
know why.
It used to be
It
called
used to be Burma.
Burma.
Yeah, and they just never changed the alphabetizing.
Wow, how stupid! Who was responsible for that list that couldn't even move a B to an M?
Source, U.S. official. I'm assuming that they're using some outdated database that did not. Johnny Fusion, by the way, said it was him. It was me, not Rebel. I could hear Rob and Gila, but not you, and the connection just crapped out.
209? He was calling from 209? Is that what he's claiming?
That is what he's claiming.
Okay, all right. Thank you for saying that. We have somebody on the phone now. Good evening. You're on. What's so funny?
I'm sorry. Lex just said, I hope Lou Raichu is listening to make a new 2600 remix from this one.
This is why we don't read the chat while we're doing the show, because it distracts from the show.
Except the one of us whose job it is to read the chat.
That is very true.
Then read silently. All right. This is not going well. Good evening. You're on Off the Hook Overtime.
So is it me?
I don't know. Only you know that.
Okay, I guess it must be. Well, I don't know how you hear me. I heard you fine on the computer, but I hear you like crap right now. Just so for your survey, but I can keep talking. It's not a problem on my end.
We hear you fine.
I hope I'm coming out loud and clear on your end. Now, I want to set a few things straight. As far as the World Cup goes, Morocco-Brazil should be quite interesting. Morocco was fourth of the last World Cup, and they're in line for winning the Africa Cup. They're in the final. They just beat Nigeria at the penalty kicks tonight. Unfortunately, I was hoping Nigeria would make it to the final. It's a better team. They're the home team, but they're definitely not just winning because they are the home team this time. As I said, they were, in the semifinals of the last World Cup, and
That's
they
true.
qualified fourth. So it should be quite an interesting tie. Also because Brazil, in spite of being Brazil, has got a dubious team at the moment, and it has for the past 2 or 3 World Cups. It hasn't been the Brazil that we're all used to. As far as the visas go, and, this is probably in line with the strategy of the present so-called administration to create chaos and fill the zone or whatever, to create confusion and panic and upsets in people like us or people of good will or people who are reasonable. But the 75 countries are banned from applying as refugees. The visas are not banned. They took pain to add the business visas are allowed. So, anybody who wants to come and see the World Cup for Brazil, and other countries, considering the prices of tickets, will have their means to come and see the games. I'm sure they're not denying millionaires and billionaires from entering the country. And it's not statutorily so with the latest rule. As far as what's going on in the bigger picture, I think we're witnessing a slow-motion coup d'etat that has started at least 30 years ago. And, it's essentially since the Rehnquist court, when Rehnquist was promoted by Reagan to Chief Justice, we have seen more and more dubious decisions. There have been various lobbies of fascist and right of fascist orientation that have been working very steadily to A, stack the judiciary as much as possible, especially at the Supreme Court level, and B, to deny voting rights at every possible level, at the state level, at the national level, and these are the results. Basically, we, the good people, because we are good people, because we want to enjoy life and focus on other things, have been letting these bastards occupy the territory that we didn't defend.
Mm-hmm.
And these are the consequences. And this is just the beginning of the consequences, because every day keeps getting worse. Now we're going to have, NATO doesn't exist anymore, essentially, as of today, which, you may say, oh, this guy doesn't know what's going on. No, he knows. That's what he wanted to do with his first term. He already declared NATO, UN, all the old world obsolete. What they want is a tripolar world, or maybe bipolar, but there will have to be a war to make it bipolar, where China, Russia, and the U.S. are basically partitioning the world according to their reciprocal conveniences and fuck the rest of the world. And it's not a matter of what's right or what's wrong. It's a matter of it's not safe for anybody except for the people of means who are part of this regime. So we should all, not just talk on the radio. We should really start organizing. Not start. We should be way along.
Mm-hmm.
But we have to do something, because if we don't, the world is really going badly. And I don't think it will end up very nicely. You have essentially free brutal powers, in spite of China playing nice right now, who are armed to the teeth with nuclear weapons, and, the rest of the world has to comply or else. That's essentially what's going on. All this theater of, Ukraine, Gaza, Greenland, those are already the pawns that have been moved. Russia gets Ukraine, the U.S. gets Gaza, and Greenland.
Venezuela. Don't forget Venezuela.
Of influence, and that's basically it. I will just hang up and listen on the computer because I can hear you better that way, unless you have questions.
No, I think you pretty much got it. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
okay.
It's a little better, but still you break up.
I mean, you're pretty much on point with the things we were saying earlier. The one thing I would say, though, is that, you're right. Trump knows, what's going on, but I don't think he knows history. I don't think he knows politics, in an intelligent way. He just knows what he wants, and he knows how to get what he wants. But he doesn't really know the subtleties of it. There are many more intelligent people working for him, and I'm afraid of them. They're the ones that are the true threat. So they're all bad. They're all bad, obviously. And you say we're in a coup. Yeah. Maybe we need a different kind of coup to go in a different direction, because right now we're in the midst of this one. And yeah, I agree. It's going to get worse before it gets better. But we have better start thinking of alternatives.
The notable precedent that I can think of ended a little over 80 years ago. and it didn't end up very well for the world, although it brought in the current order. But I think there will have to be something of that magnitude. And my desperation is due to the fact that if Stalin equal Putin, and by default, unfortunately, our present leader equal Hitler, who are the Churchill and FDR of these days? Xi Jinping? The world is really not very well set up at the moment. That's all I can say.
Yeah. Okay. We'll address issues we'll address issues on air, and you can listen on your computer.
Always a pleasure talking with you guys. Keep up the good work, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you. Take care. Rob, you had something. Go ahead.
Yeah, excellent call. I would only add to that it's very easy to say that he doesn't understand, he doesn't know, he's not intelligent. I think the far scarier possibility is that he does understand and just doesn't care. And I think that's where the real problem is, that he seems content to be dismantling the American experiment and democracy and everything else just because it's good for him, it's good for whoever he cares about that week, and he's keeping himself wealthy and in power and protected from the consequences of his actions. And I think that's where the real danger is.
You mean like giving the finger to a protester?
Yeah,
I heard about that. What exactly happened?
He was walking into a building and a protester yelled something about the Epstein files, and the president of the United States gave the man the finger and either mouthed or shouted "fuck off." I'm not sure which.
That doesn't bother me. I don't care about that. I remember Nelson Rockefeller did that once as governor of New York. I think he was governor at the time. There's a big picture of him doing it in the newspaper. I don't know if anybody remembers that, but we've lost civility, so I'm not surprised that that's the way people are going back and forth. I'm more upset at what it is it represents, what he is failing to do, what he is ignoring, what he is abusing.
But do you remember when Howard Dean yelped into a noise-canceling microphone, and that was enough to disqualify him from the presidency?
Yeah, because Democrats are pussies. I don't understand them. I don't understand why they don't fight. We need somebody who will fight, and they are doing a piss poor job of that. Republicans have no problem doing this. It's their way or the highway. And might makes right and all that stuff. I'm not saying they need to be as stupid or as pigheaded, but they need to not be so filled with doubt and just afraid of their own shadows. Wow, you both sighed at the exact same time. Carl, go ahead.
I'm just
okay
I'm choking over here. I just wanted to say there's a phone call.
Okay. I knew that because you already waved at me, but I was going to get to the phone call, but then I went to you to see what you had to say. All right, good evening. You're on Off the Hook Overtime. Go ahead. Speak up. If you've fallen asleep on the phone, please wake up now because it's your turn to speak. Kyle, how do you explain this?
I cannot.
No, you can't, can you? All right, well, we'll possibly take one more phone call if it's a successful phone call. Alex, you look bored. Unmute yourself. There you go.
Yeah, that was seamless unmuting. You heard that, right?
Yeah, it went very smoothly.
Yeah,
we're still talking about it, but it went very smoothly.
I'm troubleshooting it and listening at the same time here.
I thought you shot the trouble already.
I know.
All right.
Yeah.
We have another phone call. Let's take this phone call and not leave them hanging. Good evening. You're on Off the Hook Overtime. Go ahead. Speak up.
Okay. So what's going on? Again, this is...
What now? Where are people calling?
You tell me. You're the one who said there was a trouble to be troubleshooted.
Okay. What?
Wait, I think this is somebody impersonating Rebel.
Well, they're doing a good job.
Yeah, I think they're using like 11 Studio 11 or something like that.
What's Studio 11? What's that?
It allows you to generate audio. And that's actually pretty pretty incredible. You don't really need that many seconds of somebody talking in order to generate audio in the likeness of somebody else.
Really? Do go on, caller. We're fascinated by this.
Wow, that's really something. What? How do you know it's fake? And you say it can make the person's voice indistinguishable from the original?
Yeah, I
Yep.
guess it does. Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah. Can you say something insulting about Rebel just so that we know it's not him?
What's the point? I'm just going to sound like the same fake audio.
Wow.
Amazing.
I realize
Yep.
I've been suckered into listening to Rebel's voice regardless. But
Yeah.
but this is funny. This is yeah, you got us good there. Anything you'd like to say as yourself? All right. I can dig it.
I know that I demonstrated this last time that the fact that I demonstrated the old I know that I demonstrated this last time that the fact that I demonstrated the old I know that I demonstrated this last time that the fact that I demonstrated the old
Go, Gila!
I know that I demonstrated this last time that the fact that I demonstrated the old I know that I demonstrated this last time that the fact that I demonstrated the old I know that I demonstrated this last time that the fact that I demonstrated the I know that I demonstrated this last time that the fact that I demonstrated the old I know that I demonstrated this last time that the fact that I demonstrated the old I know that I demonstrated this last time that the fact that I demonstrated the old
Oh man, okay, everybody just sit down now. That got us. Wow. I'm sweating like a pig. That was good. We all got up off on our feet there.
Lou Raichu, is that you?
That's got to be him.
Still there?
Every day, dreaming of a time and a place not far away.
All right, this is my stop. I'm getting off the bus here. Sorry. No, this is it. I'm done. Thank you for that very entertaining call. And yeah, you win the call of the night for sure.
We've had a request for the download link.
If you want to send us that download link at oth@2600.com.
We'll have it next week for sure.
Yes.
All right, we're out of time. This was fun. Good to be back. I have to stop talking because, I'm still healing. But what do you say? Next week we do another one of these. And the week after we do a call in on BAI. And then the week after that, we come back to this. And then after that, Rebel can call again.
This is a solid plan.
Yeah.
Assuming he doesn't call.
Well, then we never have to deal with this again. And we can also, ban from chats and things like that. We can totally militarize this if we have to. Yeah. I'm sorry for whoever's calling now. We are just out of energy, out of time. But any final words from any of us?
Yeah, it was actually not Studio 11. It was 11 Labs is the is kind of the deepfake audio system that I'm guessing somebody probably used to generate Rebel's voice.
Okay.
Lou Raichu says, not me. I was hacked.
Oh my God! Wow, I wonder who it was. We may never know.
Like how many licks it takes to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop, the world may never know. I think having 55 folks with us now is really good for the first time after the first time back after a month away.
I'm still out of breath from all the dancing. I mean, that's the last thing I needed to do right now.
Didn't your dentist tell you no dancing?
He did actually say that. I didn't understand it at the time, but now I do.
I predict it'll take us like a week or two to get back into things.
Why does my tooth hurt from that?
Just calm down.
Ooh.
Calm down. You get an ice pack.
It's
We'll
not even
deal
there
with that.
anymore. It still hurts.
Are you having phantom tooth pain?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. All right, OTH at 2600.com to reach us, and we will see you next week on Off the Hook, 7 o'clock on BAI, 8 o'clock on Overtime. Good night, everyone.